Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and lock your doors. You have entered the world of the unknown. Welcome to the Dead Hour broadcast.
The locals call it the Badam Tala, the place where the silence has teeth. I'm Daniel. I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a wildlife photographer. I came to the Sundarbans, the massive mangrove forest shared by India and Bangladesh, to photograph the Royal Bengal tiger. I wanted nature. I didn't want this. It was the third day. My guide, a weathered local named Rahim, was uneasy. The air was heavy, smelling of salt and rotting vegetation. We were on a small wooden trawler, miles away from the tourist zones. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, and the infamous heavy fog of the delta began to roll in like a white curtain. "Said, we must anchor," Rahim said, his voice trembling. "Engine trouble, but this place is not good." "Why?" I asked, checking my lenses. "This is the Nishido Kal, the Forbidden Channel. Even the tigers do not come here." I scoffed. Superstition is part of the package when you visit these places. But then, the silence hit me. Usually, the jungle is loud. Crickets, water splashing, birds. But here? Absolute zero. No wind, no ripples. Around 10 p.m., the fog became so thick, I couldn't see the front of the boat. That's when I saw the light. A faint orange glow flickered through the mist about 50 yards away. "Rahim, look! Another boat? Maybe they have tools for the engine," I said. Rahim grabbed my arm. His grip was like iron. "No light, sir. No village here. Maps say nothing but swamp for 20 miles. I ignored him. I grabbed my flashlight and a machete, stepping off our boat onto the muddy bank. The mud here was different. Gray, sticky, and it smelled like old copper. Blood. I walked toward the light. As the fog parted, my breath hitched. It wasn't a boat. It was a village. But it looked wrong. The huts were made of ancient straw and blackened wood covered in wet moss. There were no electric lines, no plastic, nothing modern. In the center of the village, a massive fire burned, but it made no sound, no crackling, just a silent, dancing flame. "Hello?" I called, but the people moved fluidly, like oil pouring over a surface. They were dressed in clothes from a century ago, tattered dhotis and saris. I raised my camera. I snapped a photo. Click. The flash illuminated the nearest villager. I froze. The man had no face. Where his eyes and mouth should have been, there was just smooth, dark wood, like the bark of a sundari tree. I stumbled back. "Rahim!" I screamed, but my voice felt muffled, like I was shouting underwater. The villagers didn't run. They drifted toward me. I realized then that their feet weren't touching the mud. They were hovering an inch above the ground. And from the dark forest behind them, the roots of the mangrove trees began to uncoil like snakes. I turned and ran. The mud tried to suck my boots down. Squelch! Squelch! Behind me, I heard a sound. Not a scream, but a collective whisper of 1,000 voices saying one word. Hungry. I could hear the wet slapping of the roots hitting the mud, getting closer. A vine wrapped around my ankle. I fell face first into the sludge. I rolled over, slashing blindly with my machete. The vine bled. Black, thick, ichor oozed out. I scrambled up, lungs burning. I could see the outline of our boat. Rahim was frantically pulling the starter cord of the engine. Vroom! Sputter. Die. Vroom, sputter, die. Rahim, start it, I yelled, diving into the water and swimming toward the boat. The faceless villagers were at the bank now. They stopped at the water's edge. They couldn't cross, but the roots could. Massive wooden spikes shot out of the water, missing my head by inches. I hauled myself onto the deck. Rahim pulled the cord one last time, screaming a prayer to Bon Bibi, the goddess of the forest. The engine roared to life. Rahim slammed the throttle forward. The boat lurched, throwing me against the railing. We sped away into the fog, the engine screaming against the current. I looked back. The orange fire was gone. The village was gone. There was only the jungle, tall and imposing, staring back at us. We didn't speak until we reached the main dock the next morning. When I checked my camera, I expected to see the faceless man, but the SD card was corrupted. Every file was destroyed, except one. The last photo. It wasn't the man, it was a picture of me, sleeping in my hotel room, taken from the ceiling, looking down. I left Bangladesh the same day, but sometimes when it rains and the air gets humid, I can still smell that copper scent, and I know the roots are still growing.
The story ends here, but the fear remains. If you want to survive the night, hit that subscribe button. And remember, don't look under your bed tonight.